Hello everyone, I'm Jason from NovaStar. Welcome to our NCE training. I'd like to start with a short introduction of NCE training to the guys who are not so familiar with it. The full name of NCE is NovaStar Certified Engineer. We have trained more than 3,000 individuals all over the world since it started in 2014. By giving multi-courses and valuable chances to embrace the LED control system, NCE courses enable you to operate and maintain the equipment independently. Because of the special situation this year, we hold the training online. We are hoping more technicals could get the knowledge and the certification even in this hard time. This term, we will have 8 courses and the final examination. You could get online training certification if you stand in at least 4 6 courses and pass the final examination. I hope you guys can go to all the courses and make a good score. Okay, let's go to today's course, cloud-based solution. For today's course, it includes 4 parts. The first part is the Taurus series introduction. The second part is the connection method. The third part is the software operation. And the last part is the Vnnox introduction. Before we go into our course, I would like to share you some successful cases which were achieved by the Taurus. The first video you can see, actually it is the real case in Shenzhen North Railway Station. And you can see some pillar screens and the display content changed at the same time. So the display effects are also very good since it was installed last year. Here is the second real case. We can see there are 5 screens and they can display the content separately. Also, they can consist of whole screen to display the whole image of the video. The last case I would like to share is the magic cube, which was made by the Taurus. From the video, we can see it has 6 sides. Of course, before we published the display contents with the mobile phone, with the software Vplex Handy, we needed to configure the screen with our software and our LCT. Okay, now let's go to today's course. Firstly, we will introduce Taurus series introduction. Here is a screen installed on the street. So I have a question. What's behind the LED screen? I think after the previous courses, you must know the basic structure of the LED control system. So for common solution, usually we need a PC and a standing card to control the screen. The PC is to send the control commands and provide the video source. The structure, we call it synchronous system because everything on the LED screen is synchronous with your PC, with your laptop. Or you can use the media player box to replace with the PC. But for this kind of screen, I think the PC is not easy to integrate it in the screen. You may say I can put an industry PC inside or a media player, but if we want to change the display content of the screen, what can we do? I think some of you may say we can drive a car to the screen and change the player by a laptop, or you can use a TeamViewer to do the remote control of the industry PC, but we must make sure the industry PC is available for the internet. So it's not easy. What can we do to make it more easier? Let's see what NovaStar can help with this kind of screen. Here comes the new generation asynchronous media player Taurus. Compared with the synchronous mode structure on the left side, there is no need to use the PC and the setting card anymore. No more device, just the one piece of Taurus series card is enough. Here we list some useful features of the Taurus series cards. The first one is omnidirectional control, which means you can do the control of the Taurus series cards with the Ethernet cable or the Wi-Fi or the 4G mode. Yeah. The second one is the two SIC and ASIC dual mode switch, which means for the Taurus series cards, it can support the SIC. SIC means it can support the HDMI input, and the ASIC mode means it can display the internal video or the image. The third one we call the redundancy backup. Actually, I would like to call it the automatic redundancy backup because it is different from the synchronous controllers such as M Controller 600. If you would like to do the backup, you need to configure the redundancy table with the Nova RCT on the standing card page. Yes, but for Taurus series cards, for TB3 and TB6, it can do the redundancy backup automatically. The first is the splice and the auto scaler, which means if your screen size is smaller or bigger than the video source, it can support the auto scaler function. The last one is the more useful functions. For example, if we have lots of screen and we would like them to change the display content at the same time, at this time we could provide the LoRa module solution, which can make it possible. Also, for some fixed install application, we need to adjust the screen brightness according to the environment brightness. At this time, we can use the light sensor to achieve this function. Here we list a comparison table of the Taurus series cards, TB3, TB6, and TB8. For the capacity, we can see for TB3, it is 650,000. And for TB6, it is 1.3 million. And for the TB8, it is 2.3 million. And for the processor, actually, they are the same. And 4 cores, 2 gigabits RAM, and 8 gigabits ROM. Yeah. For the Wi-Fi, we can see they can support dual Wi-Fi, which means it can support the Wi-Fi IP and the Wi-Fi station. Mobile data means TB3, TB6, and TB8. All the Taurus series cards can support with the 4G SIM card to make the Taurus available for the internet. And the redundancy, as we mentioned before, we would like to call it the automatic redundancy for TB3 and the TB6. For TB8, we can also set the redundancy with the Nova RCT by hand. Dual mode, which means the thick mode and ASIC mode. Thick mode, which means it can support the HDMI input for TB6 and TB8, but for TB3, it doesn't have the HDMI connector, so it doesn't support the thick mode. Mosaic also, for the Mosaic function, it needs the HDMI input. So for TB3, it doesn't support either. The last three function we call the certification. Of course, they all have the certification, and the operation system or Android OS 5.1. Then after we know some features of Taurus, we would like to know how to configure the Taurus step by step. Today we will introduce two methods. The first one is Nova RCT, and the second one is the Vplex Express. Actually, for Nova RCT, it is used to make the screen configuration and load the RCFG file. And for Vplex Express, it is used to do the publishment of the solution. Later, we will introduce with the software. Yeah, here introduce two methods to connect the Taurus series card. The first one is the Wi-Fi AP method, which means we can search the Wi-Fi AP with our laptop and then connect the Taurus cards, and the password is 12345668. Also, we can for Taurus series cards, it can support the Ethernet cable connection. We can open DHCP on the Vplex Express, and then we can connect it with the Nova RCT or Vplex Express. Okay, the second part is the software operation. Here, I would like to show you with a TB6 and with the software. As I mentioned before, when we run the Vplex Express, and we need to enable the DHCP service, and then click OK, and then we open the software Nova RCT. And here is the user. We need to log in, and we need to select the media player login. And then we can see the Taurus here, and then connect system, and the username is admin, and the password is 123456. It's different from the Wi-Fi AP password. For the Wi-Fi AP password, it is 12345668, right? Yeah, and then click OK. So we can see the control system here. Yes. And then we click screen configuration. Then we can see the receiving card and the screen connection page. For the receiving card page, we can load the RCFG file to the receiving card. And after all this, we go to the screen connection and make the screen connection. And then remember to click send to hardware and save. After all this, the screen configuration is done, it's finished. And then we need to open the software Vplex Express. It is used to do the publishment. Yeah. Yes, we can see here the Vplex Express. On the terminals page, we can see the totally terminal quantities and the online, offline, or not logged in device. Here we can see it is connect. And then we'll go to the solution page. Here we can see if you would like to create a new solution, just click here, and you can edit the solution name and the resolution of the LED screen. and then click OK. Here is the solution we just created, and then we need to create a window here, right? Also, you can edit the window size here, and then we can edit some files, some publishment, some content we want to display here. For example, I would like to add some text here. Also, you can edit the text size. Yeah, after all this, we can see the publish button here. And then we can click publish and then select the device here and publish. Sorry. Okay, I will try it again. After click the publish, please. We can just try something. We can try to add a picture. We can delete the text here and add the file, and we can select some picture. No such file. Oh, okay, later we will check. And this is all the process of the publish content. Yeah. Also here we have the function here. We can see the import and export, which means we can import all the solutions to the USB drive, because if you have some same screen with the same display content, there is no need to create it at all. We can just import the solutions here to your USB drive, and then plug your USB drive to the Taurus card, and you can export to another device. And for terminal control, I would like to show you some useful function. The first one is the playback management. So we can click in. This function is useful when you meet the problem. For example, when we publish successfully the content to the Taurus series cards, but there is no display on the LED screen, then we can check here. We can click view screenshot to check if there is some display content in Taurus. If there is, so the problem may depend on the Taurus to the receiving card. You can check the internet cable of this. Yes. And another useful function I would like to share is the terminal upgrade. And we can see here it can support online upgrade and local upgrade. Online upgrade, which means it can do the upgrade online automatically. Local means you need to download the firmware in advance to your laptop, and then you can select the path and just here and just click the upgrade, and that's fine. Okay, now let's continue to the PowerPoint. Yes, this is about the software operation we just mentioned. Okay, let's continue. After successfully publish our solution, what we will do next? These are some useful functions I just mentioned: the playback management, the brightness adjustment, also the video source, and the playlogs. Playlogs is useful to check the display content log, and it's quite important. Okay, we will go to the last part, the client publish Vnnox. Here we can see the structure here. We can use the PC, the pad, the phone to connect to the NovaStar cloud service. And here are all the Taurus series cards. It can connect to the service by the 4G, by the Wi-Fi or the internet cable. And later we will show you how to use Vnnox step by step. Firstly, we need to register account, a Vnnox account. So here is the Vnnox website. And here we can see the login and sign up. If you don't have a Vnnox account, you can sign up in advance. If you have, we can just log in. Yes, here are 6 servers we can support: China, America, Australia, Europe, Japan, and India. And you can select the server which is in your area. And then we can click log in with the account and the password. And after logging in successfully, we can see 3 parts: Vnnox standard, Vnnox AD, and IKEA. And actually for Vnnox AD, you need to buy a license because it has more functions. But usually for some common solution, for some common usage, I think of the Vnnox standard is enough. And after we log in the Vnnox account, and then we need to bound our Taurus series card to the Vnnox account. Then how to bound the Taurus to the Vnnox? Here we can see the player authentication, and we can click in. We can see the username and the password of the Vnnox account, and then we need to go back to the Vplex Express. Here, the first one is the network configuration, and click in. So we need to connect the Taurus series cards to the internet, and you can use the Wi-Fi. Yes, after you connect the Wi-Fi successfully, and we go to the server configuration page, and just select the server. This server means the Vnnox account server. This is the example of a China server, and then we need to type in the username and the password, which we just mentioned in the Vnnox account, and then click the bound button, and then you can bound the Taurus series cards to the Vnnox account successfully. After all this, we can do the publishment with the Vnnox account. You can see this page, actually it is similar to the Vplex Express. The first step, we also need to create a solution. Yeah, you can see it's quite similar, right? Also, the player equals the terminals and the solution. Yeah, when we create a new solution, and we also need to set to edit the resolution of the screen. And then we can add the content here. You can add a picture, a text, or the image here. And after all this, we can publish the solution to the Taurus series class. This is all about today's courses, and let's make a summary. Actually, it includes 4 parts, as we mentioned before. First one is the Taurus series introduction. This part includes why we need the Taurus and some features of the Taurus. And the second part is the connector method. For the Taurus, it can support the Wi-Fi and the internet cable connection. The third part is the software operation, and we introduced how to publish content with the Vplex Express and some useful functions in the terminal control page, such as the playback management and the brightness adjustment and the terminal upgrade. For the last part, it is the Vnnox introduction. We introduced how to bundle the Taurus series cards to our Vnnox account, and how to do the remote publish control, how to do the remote publish content by the Vnnox. And this is all about today's courses.